Hi, I'm Ellen, and I'm going to be talking about my book Medici Seal and how I think the book is either real or not real to me. And in my opinion, I think the book is both at different parts of the book, and both relating to what characters, what the character, who the characters are. Um, Matteo, the main character, struggles through a lot of things that we can never relate to because they happened only during the Renaissance, and they had to do with wars and art and struggles with patrons and things like that, which we never really have to focus on. We focus on things like getting through school, and he did go through school, which was similar to what we did, and he did have struggles with school, but they weren't as in detail and connecting to us. But because of this and not relating as much to us, he was a very real character because that is something you wouldn't have found in the Renaissance. And if he would have been something more fun today, he obviously wouldn't have been a very real character. And so that was Matteo. But then Eleonora struggles, who is the girl that Mateo falls in love with. They are more as to something you would find later in time, maybe even today, with women's rights and women's freedoms. It is obviously not directly stated in the book about how women never have the right or anything like that, but she does talk about how she doesn't have her life as fair and given to her as Mateo's is. And she struggles through that the entire book, which is why I think that she's not very a real character. She's not a very real Renaissance character. She's more of a modern or a character from the times of women's rights. Um, she she is very easy to relate to, which is why I think the author put her in the book, because she also wanted to have her as a little something that could tie us into the book or have us relate to the book personally, which was a good thing, but also didn't took away the real to it. Um, I think the best character in the book to show how people change throughout it is Elisabetta, because she went from a very quiet girl and a girl sitting in her older sister's or her twin sister's shadow, who was just slightly more out there, and she was as they were both very pretty, but in Mateo's eyes, but he just saw her first because Elisabetta did not mind being in her sister's shadow, so she fell into a very undescript, a very flat character, and it throughout the book she did change a lot, which is why she went from a very flat character, a girl sitting in her sister's shadow, to a girl who had offers from men, who struggled through poverty and loss of families, and multiple times, 3 times she suffered through family loss and abandonment. And I think she went from a very weak and a quiet girl to a woman really who was strong but still very womanly and allowed men to take control of her, which did show some strength in her part, because in those days being able to accept what women's fate were like, that was shown as a very strong characteristic. So I think that those two characters really show how the book can really affect as to, in Eleanor's case, not very real, or Elisabetta's case, which is so much change and so much real to it. So thank you.